I've got an important story to share with you, and I will give you a piece of advice to the real estate agents out there in the marketplace, and also a piece of advice to the consumers that are out there. So I was just talking to someone that recently bought a property, and they weren't really sure if they were interested in it or not, but they wanted to take a look at it. And so they went on Zillow and looked at the property, and they clicked the button that said schedule a time to take a look at it. Now, I will let you know that when you click on that button, you don't know who you're going to get, I should say. This person could know the marketplace. They could not know the marketplace. They could be familiar with that property. It's not necessarily the listing agent. This person could have no experience. They could have a lot of experience. It's sort of random luck of the draw. Now, I say it's random, but it's not really. Those real estate agents who are selected are paying Zillow to be on there, right? So when you click the button and you get connected, they're paying Zillow money to be the person that gets to show up at the door and meet you there. So anyway, this person clicked on the button, scheduled a time to see it next day or whatnot. They showed up at the door and met the agent there. Now, here's what got interesting. The agent handed them a buyer agency agreement and said, hey, if you want to look at this house, you have to sign this document. Not cool, guys. That is so not cool. Real estate agents absolutely have to do better. At the very minimum, when you get the contact information for the person for that meeting, you need to have a conversation about that up front and not just spring a surprise on them at the door. Obviously, the person wants to see it. Well, this person felt backed into a corner. They felt like, hey, I want to look at this house, but in order to do so, I have to sign this document. That is not the time or the place to have that conversation with the consumer. That is the antithesis of what's supposed to be happening with transparency in the marketplace. So agents, don't do that. Have a conversation up front. Buyers, two things. One, don't just go on Zillow and click set an appointment to see a house, number one. And number two, do not be backed into a corner and feel like you've got to sign a document just to look at a property. That is an important agreement that you are signing for both the broker and for the buyer. It's something that should be done with intentionality, thoughtfulness. It should be explained. And it's not always the 100% the truth that you have to sign that document in order to see the property. There are some exceptions to that. I'd be glad to answer those questions and what that looks like. So again, agents, we can do better than this. We are held to a higher standard. And honestly, I think that's an ethics violation because you are not treating the consumer the way that you would want to be treated. No one wants to be backed into a corner and forced to sign something without understanding, without explanation. And consumers, sign those agreements with understanding. Don't do it rashly. Make sure that you are not being forced or backed into a corner.